Well,
I'm Pat.
with that, I'm Jeffrey. We're talking about the passive F tier. So this is when you tried to give them the easy out and say that your last minute folks were being
Yeah.
unfairly treated by something, but it sounds like they effed themselves.
No, they did F themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
It was just there were a couple it was interesting, just because I actually got my grading done early this year.
Oh, okay,
And
good, good.
I didn't notice when I had done that because I just chewed through the grading queue
Yeah,
until it said zero, things left to grade.
makes sense.
And I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Seems logical.
So, but
Yeah.
then today when I was doing my audits, I found two guys in there who had been in contact with me. So, but I think I had told them both that it was like, hey guys, you got to get this done.
Right.
But I think I did that in person. So
Okay.
I can't remember, man. So I'm usually pretty lenient. So you know, I'll tell them well, I have to have it in by noon.
Right.
When I have to have it in by 5. Kind of thing.
Okay. Good.
So yeah. Um, and so I'll leave the door open for procrastinators just because there's no cure for that other than failure.
There you go.
It's terminal.
Well, actually, so I don't know if that's accurate. So I don't know if the cure is failure. I think the treatment is failure.
The treatment is
Yeah.
failure. Yeah.
Yeah.
The treatment is failure. Yeah. I don't think there is a cure. It's kind of like, I don't know, the clap. You have it forever.
Well, no, you get.
The question is, do you spread it to others?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it is if you see that there's you have to be given this, right? It's
Uh-huh.
just a question of what you take from it, right?
Right.
It can literally make you sicker, or it can be the thing that rights your ship. That's up to you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes it's years after the fact.
It can be.
Yeah,
And sometimes people just learn to live with it, man.
right.
So, I mean, I think that's where I'm at. So I know how much I can tolerate, you know. So, which is quite a bit more than normal people, but it's not like all.
Well, so I suppose at this point, right? We've crested a number of different touchstones in our careers and our lives at this point here. Um, do you take failure personally?
No, not anymore. Nope.
Yeah. What's the learned man or the experienced man's take at this point on? I presume that you haven't done everything correctly in your life. I think you've done a
Oh
number of
no.
things, but I presume that you've done a number of things that were not quite um, successes. What's the experienced man's look on failure at this point that you could give as meaningful feedback to young people?
Well, you got to ask yourself how much it matters to you, I mean, before you can gauge that. So, I mean, you can fail at something that's colossally important and permanently changes the trajectory of your life.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
perfectly okay to feel bad about that one.
Okay. Okay.
So, if you didn't get up when your alarm went off the first time after you told yourself you would, that's not exactly on the same scale.
Well, that's it. Okay. So I think that's going to be step number one here
Yeah.
is to look at this and say, all right, if let's use a grade for an example, right?
Okay.
Is a failing grade a measurement of what is that measuring? Because I feel part of the problem here is if you get an F, what did you actually fail?
So that depends on what class, and who you're taking it from. It
Uh
really
huh.
does. So the way that I set up my classes are basically pass fail.
Yeah.
So if you do everything that I told you to do and you did it the way that I told you to do it, you get an A.
Right.
It is that simple.
All right.
I take very little either brain fucking RAM or anything like that
Sure.
to spend on whether or not somebody did something well. Okay, what
Yeah.
I do is I boil almost all of my grading down to check boxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I've never had a grade challenged in, oh God, it's probably been about 10 years.
Well,
So
because you've done a stupendous job of removing basically any and all subjectivity
there's
from this.
very little, you can take my rubric and give it to a fucking fent zombie on the street and he can follow it.
Okay. Right. So that being said, right, if you have that out there and you receive a failing grade, right,
It's because you didn't do your shit
but that's
in my
not the whole
class. Yeah.
story, is it? Because then you have to look and say, I didn't do the shit. Then the next question is why? Because it's that's the
Well, that's where I disengage from the process.
oh, I
So
totally
yeah,
understand.
because that's not my business.
No, no, no,
So
no,
yeah,
no, no. But in terms of if it's didn't do the shit, then the next question is it because it didn't understand the shit? Is it because I didn't wake up? Is it because I
yeah,
that's what I'm talking about
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
to look at something and even if you get into one of the more subjective classes, right? If you get into uh, uh, Mr. Big Shot Erudite's, literature class, and you're looking at things that do have a lot of subjectivity to them, right?
Mhm.
The first thing that you have to break down is like, okay, so what did I fail to accomplish?
Yeah.
And it's not just to achieve the grade, the desired grade. It's to break it down and say, okay, was I there on time? Did I fail at being on time? Did I fail at being attentive? Did I fail at,
Yeah, did I not take good enough
right,
notes? Did I
right,
bomb a test? Did I skip a paper? There's a lot of different things, that can add up to that. But
yeah.
that's user based experience at that point in time. That's not a design thing. It's
It's not, and I feel like a lot of people don't look at it that way. I feel like a lot of people
oh
don't.
no, yeah.
Did,
You didn't grade my paper good enough. Blah.
well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, is why? Why do we? I mean, I guess that's the thing. Is you and I have been able to kind of trudge through this at some point and be able to take that view and say,
uh,
well, you know what the truth is. In hindsight, I really didn't care. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
And to be able to assess this and
yeah.
uh, why do we not do this? What is it that we're missing when it comes to helping people actually understand to, take a look at this and say like, all right, well, yes, you have a failing grade. It's not something you shouldn't be happy with it, but the question is, why did you get it, and what aspect
Uh-huh.
did you fail?
Yeah, exactly. So, and I mean that it's not really that hard to elucidate if you actually do a good job of outlining your expectations. Um, and then, yeah, so I've had people like I would say most of the people who fail, and I would say like any given semester, I probably fail about 5 to 10% of my students.
Is
Okay,
that would you say that's on par with, above, below,
that's
or
probably below my colleagues, but
is
not
it?
by much.
Yeah.
So because they see the same things that I do. Now they probably dish out a lot more B's and C's than I do.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I dish out a fuckload of A's because it's just basically like, all right, you did what I told you to do. You met my expectation. We're good. So, I like even my rubrics, they don't say like above average or superb. They say meets expectations. That's my A. They don't say that. You know?
Now, is this a class that merits that?
Oh yeah, all
Okay.
my classes. Well, I've done it in multiple different formats. I've done it in classes that are a little bit more subjective, where I just basically boil it down to like, okay, so I'm going to assign you a fucking 1,000 tiny assignments. If you do them all, okay, fine. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that your conclusion on this case study is fucked up, and things like that, because it's an opinion piece. Come on, man. So, you know, and then the same thing's true, like even with stats, like when I teach, very very objectively graded bullshit like that. Um, Nobody tells me that I can't let you take it twice. Okay, so take it as many times as you need to. It's going to generate new problems for you. Get it until you get it right. So people get A's that way too. So so 9 times out of 10, when someone fails my class, they disengage about halfway through. Some bullshit comes up, or they hit that I don't give a fuck about this, and that's fine. I mean, I respect people's decision when it comes to that. It's like, okay, fine. I would too. You would already cashed your check, and so if you're out, you're out. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, and I don't pry into those things. The folks that I see struggle are ones who, they do have that question of like, why am I here? Or like the bigger one is like somebody else expects me to be here. So
Sure.
you'll try and get away with doing as little as possible, just enough to please whoever that person is,
Mm,
even if it's in your own fucking head. So, and I've definitely seen people do that.
that sounds pretty common, actually. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's common, but it amongst people like that, it's common. Let me put it that way.
Well, let me
So,
ask you
but if
this.
you have 100
Yeah,
students, that's
yeah.
like two.
That's
So
like two.
that's like two.
You're
Yeah.
telling me that when you took off way back in the days before the fucking oceans drank Atlantis and went to undergrad
Before
for the
COVID,
first
yeah.
time, yeah, and went to college for the first time. Are you saying that none of how much of what you were doing was there based off of others' expectations of you?
Um, well, mine was probably about, I don't know, if I had to put, if we want to do this, with Bayesian logic here, I would say probably about
Hey,
25%.
okay.
So, because I was paying for my school out of my
You
fucking
were,
pocket.
you
So,
were,
yeah.
but first and foremost, were you going to school because you thought that was expected of you, or is it because of something that you really wanted to do?
Well, at first, yeah, I want to check it out.
Oh,
So,
okay.
because people had told me for years that college was cool. William got to go off to a big state school. I did not. And
Well, you could
so,
have.
no, not really. So, I didn't have money for that. So,
Oh, well, okay. Now, if money was the only deciding factor, then
yeah, I
sure.
probably would have gone to Boulder.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I got accepted, but I didn't get any scholarships. And so, it's
Hmm.
like, fuck off. So, I think they gave me like a $2,500. It was almost like, hey, kind of thing. It was like you could buy a couple more books, buddy. Kind of
And 2,500 bucks back then.
not go
I mean,
much, dude. The fucking dorm alone up there was like 30 grand a year, and this is 35 years ago,
well,
30
that,
years ago.
if I recall, back then the first year was mandatory.
Mandatory, yeah,
Yeah,
to stay in the
yeah,
dorms. So they've gotten away from that a little bit. So a little bit. Um,
yeah. I was trying to. That was something I was sort of explaining to the rich ass people I was hanging out with a couple of weeks ago, um, when I was talking about uh, like college fee structures and stuff like this and where they make all their money from because we were wandering around the fucking Stanford,
Stanford's a different animal.
well, it is,
Yeah,
but they also draw some of their revenue from a lot of the same places that other places did or used to,
yeah.
right? And you know who they generally like genuinely fleece from top to bottom.
Well, rich guys.
Well, absolutely,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
pulling from a world stage, right?
Well, I'm sure so Stanford's still it's kind of like an Ivy League school. It's a private school. And so I guarantee you they have like 30% of their admissions are legacies. So,
Right,
yeah.
but
Now, if you go to
also,
Berkeley, Berkeley's like the UC system.
yeah,
And so that's different.
yeah,
They probably make most of their money still off tuition. So,
tuition.
Stanford, I doubt anybody who goes there actually pays tuition unless you're one of those fucking, rich kids.
Oh, people pay tuition.
I doubt it. So I bet you about a third of their students don't pay a fucking nickel in tuition. So because they get a humongous fucking um,
Endowment
endowment,
and yeah.
and that's how they get around a lot of the DEI stuff now. Is they look for poor kids. So and then they can get pickier because they're buying they're footing the bill. So all the Ivy Leagues are doing that
I
now.
think
Fucking CC is doing that. So CC, almost nobody goes to CC unless you're local.
yeah,
So
locals pay.
locals pay. Yeah, that's because like it's not merit based scholarship. How many zeros are on the check, baby?
New people that were going to
Ooh,
CC,
people. Yeah. Am I wrong?
they wrote checks.
You wrote
Well,
checks.
actually, I'm sorry. The parents
The
wrote
parents
checks.
wrote
Yeah,
checks.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, but I don't know. I'd have to look at it. But I know like Harvard and Stanford. Well, yeah, Stanford, Yale, a lot of the big schools there. If your parents don't have like a combined annual gross income of like $500,000, you basically go for free. So they spot you. So
Right. They spot you, but they make it up in different places.
oh,
That's what I'm saying.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not cheap if you're one
No.
of those stupid rich kids. Yeah, that's probably $100,000 a year school. So
That's
yeah,
well, yeah. That's exactly what I was. That's when it came to money. They were just like, yeah, they take in a lot of like poor kids. I'm like, yes, but they make it up in other
they make it up
places.
with rich kids. Yeah, they
Make it
stoke
up
the
with the rich
fuck out
kids.
of them. Yeah.
They get it out of international students.
Well, and then they go bang on their alumni association. So
They also do, which is weird because even if I had that kind of, ridiculous, like godly amount of money, um,
I wouldn't waste it on Stanford.
I wouldn't care how many times they ask me or how nicely.
No, I
I
wouldn't
just
say
there's
no.
there's no
Yeah, there's no amount of zeros you could put behind my name before I wrote them a check.
not a
So
chance.
yeah, no.
No,
The community college, absolutely. Build a new wing and name it after me.
this community college. No, I was no. Sorry, I was just there. There's no.
What?
Uh,
Ours?
yeah. Uh.
Oh, really?
I would never
What's wrong with
write
it?
them a check.
What's wrong with it?
Holding my fucking degree hostage.
Who did? The community college?
Yes,
For what?
for a parking ticket.
Oh, every school would do that.
That is why
I
my.
didn't know you went to the community college.
What are you talking? UCCS?
No, I'm talking about PPCC.
Oh well, I consider that
UCCS is not a community college.
not anymore.
It never really was, man. I mean, it was a 4-year institution right out of the gate.
All right, okay,
So,
all right.
yeah.
UCCS, fuck that. I was like,
Dude,
no,
they can
man,
jump
this
in a
is
lake. They call me like every couple, I don't know. It used to be like monthly. I think I've told them fuck off often enough now that they just call me like when my name comes up on the list after they go through it.
I was some poor person had the misfortune of speaking to me about that at one point. Um, that didn't turn out well.
Yeah, poor work study students.
I,
Yeah,
I know, I
yeah.
know. They were asking me in earnest, is like, I would give a dime to you guys. Um,
I'm pretty nice to them because
the conversation should have ended there. They should have said, like, hey, I understand.
no, no, no.
They asked why.
Yeah, they asked why. Yeah, I bet you that's on their script.
I
So
know it's on their script.
yeah.
I mean, they'll still send me the postcard every now and then, but they don't call me anymore.
My wife is she gets it a lot more often because she graduated from law school, so
That's true.
they bang on
Yeah.
her quite a bit to the point in time where she knows like their prefix.
Uh,
So yeah, and she's like, "Oh, that's the school calling me." So swipe.
I mean, that is why my parting gift to that school was fucking urinating in the sink. So, I mean, it is what it is. And that is when I had to pay the ransom to get my fucking degree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they withheld my. I no, I think I got a ticket up there once and I couldn't register until I paid it. That's what it was. So yeah. Oh well, man. I've paid more than enough money to that school. I'm happy. So
No, you did fine.
yeah,
They did fine by you
they
as
did
well.
fine with me. They got lots of money. So no, I'd write a check to the community college though. So
Yeah, I didn't go to them.
I
So,
built. Yeah, I took a bunch of English classes there when I was trying to get
oh, yeah, you
my
did.
shirt my what was it? What is that fucking thing? The place test?
Oh,
Yeah, you had to have so many credits before they let you take the place test. So
okay, fair enough.
I wound up taking like 5 or 6 of those place tests. So
Why? Because.
I tried everything. I did business, marketing,
Oh,
history,
I see.
uh, consumer sciences, and then English.
Wait, were you not passing them or what?
You have to do them. No, no, no. This was so I could sub different things.
Oh,
Yeah. So
I had the one subject, so.
yeah, well, you were in demand, man. History guys like, hey, you teach you teach
Do you
football.
teach football? Very clinical. Yes.
Yeah. Was it the praxis? I can't remember. Were those the same thing, or is that something else?
Two different tests. Yeah.
Okay,
One was the praxis, one was the place. The biggest
but
thing.
they did the same thing, right? They got you sub-certified. Is that what it was,
Um,
or licensed?
I did it as part of licensure. As a matter of fact, you
Okay,
actually
yeah.
didn't. I don't think you needed to take it as part of subbing, but it was part of licensure.
You needed to take it if you wanted to do long term.
I think.
So yeah,
I think that's it. But yeah, as far as just going in for a few days, you didn't need to do that.
no, but you did need it if you were going to go, because there was a different provision if you were subbing for the same person for more than I think it was 2 weeks, because the pay rate was different.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh, and so you had to have a check off in that subject.
I believe so.
Yeah. That's how I wound up teaching a bunch of computer classes. So I was basically teaching kids how to use Word.
A lot of people aren't being brought up on Word.
Not anymore?
No,
No, what are they using?
they use that whatever shitty thing that Google has. The
Oh, Open Office or whatever it is.
just fucking Kirkland brand Word. It's
Google Docs.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, man. It's I don't want to pick on it too much, but it really is the fucking bag cereal of word processors.
Oh yeah, and then it's Google Sheets is terrible. So
Google Sheets is fucking garbage.
it's awful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, and this is me. Um, I don't carry water from Microsoft, and I certainly wouldn't. They've made in terms of just things that I look at from an outsider's perspective, and I say like, you have a couple of choices to do this or this here. They always pick the wrong decision for me,
Right.
and have done so for quite a while. But one of the things that they have done is they do make an actual good word processing program, a presentation, you know, PowerPoint thing that works.
The spreadsheet program's badass.
Excel, even though I wouldn't even call myself a wizard's apprentice at that at this point. You know, the actual people that make it dance and sing would be you. Um,
I'm getting a little rusty. So
yeah, but your rust can still like kill orcs and kobolds. I am still
yeah.
I am still just trying to rub two sticks together in this shit. So it's for what it does for me. As a matter of fact, more often than not, what I end up using Excel for, like at work, is just for things that have rows and columns, things that don't do any actual math. But it works fine for that.
I use them to create tables.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Papers and stuff like that. So
But when the real people get in there and they put the math in there and make it do things,
oh yeah, it's pretty awesome.
that is correct. That is the wizardry that I don't understand. That is the stuff where people would give me those sheets, and we'd use them for work back on the rig.
Mhm.
And if you touched a cell that wasn't meant to be touched,
Yeah.
and you don't remember what it was that you did, you can only control Z your way out of it so far before it is permafucked. And now, granted, those people will look in there and
Here's the problem.
they'll say like, "Did you do this?" Like, do what? Well, I'm not asking if you clicked on the cell. Did you click on it and look at it?
Did you delete it? Yeah.
Well, did you look at
Yeah.
it? Because if you looked at it,
Yeah.
it's quantum. You have now changed the state of the thing by observing it. Oh, it wasn't where it wasn't supposed to do that. It's like, wow, we're 1,500 feet of pipe missing. Oh, great. That's wonderful. It's like, how do you not know this? Like, well, unlike all the rest of you guys here in the oil industry, I came here on an English degree. Um, so if you want me to write you a,
I never learned Excel at school.
oh,
I learned it on the job.
no, I learned the components of it that people made me learn, and it was usually accompanied by this sheet that said, do this, do this, do this.
I remember doing spreadsheets back in high school though. So in like what was it, Lotus 123 or something like that?
These are
It was green screen.
these are the Atlantis times, dude. People
They were the Atlantis times, yeah. So it's basically building that Roman toy that it's like, oh, it's a steam engine. Everybody's like, you guys were almost there. You would have gone to the moon with this, kid.
you had potential.
Right.
I know.
And then the plague.
Yeah, then the plague happened. Yeah, which is again, it's fresh in my mind. You know, so when I see people in the past couple of weeks here when they're talking about it's like the
Hantavirus.
it's like, wait a second, don't normal people get hantavirus
All the time here in Colorado.
It's like, so why are we talking about this like it's?
I don't. I think that some people were jonesing for some COVID action.
They wanted it. They wanted it back.
Wanted it back.
They wanted a year and a half of free checks.
I think they wanted a whole bunch of free checks, and they wanted to tell their boss, "I'm gonna work at my station if I want to."
Yeah,
I'm gonna turn my camera on.
Listen, buddy, I am part of that company here where I guess I'm a little bit immune to this, but I've been watching. I've been watching the company of mine the 30,000 layoffs or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Well, I did. It was 30,000. I thought it was like eight.
there's a
It
lot.
was a lot.
There
So
were so of the actual people that are formally tied into this here. There were a couple of messages. One was, and I wouldn't even respond to it. I'm like, I'm not gonna try and jinx the look or whatever. But there was very much a, hey, listen, if it's Tuesday. If you don't hear from me tomorrow, it
if
was
I don't
great
make it,
working with
man,
you. Yeah,
remember me.
yeah, yeah.
Well, first rule of layoffs is just outrun the guy next to you.
So, are there things that could still change? I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is the thing where you and I had this discussion where it's like, so because people are mad about it. They're like, well, Mark Zuckerberg makes this much here, and these many.
Fuck off with that stuff.
Well, because I
Yeah.
mean, that's the whole thing.
His
Is
company, he can choose whether he wants to pay you or not.
I
So,
guess that was it. Was so. I think you and I talked about this. Is so by merit of hiring you at one point, regardless of whether your job can be done by something else, they're required to keep you on forever in perpetuity. I'm
no.
like, what stupid shit is this?
Dude, and I mean, like, the thing about that is, I mean, so, like, first of all, there's the richness of the entitlement there, which I won't go into too much. But okay, so you get a job at Meta.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's pretty fucking hard right on its own.
Yep.
All right, you should have every confidence in yourself going forward into the workforce again. You know?
Unless, and again,
I'm sorry, you climbed K2. Why don't we take a stab at Everest now? No, I'm going to stay here forever and never climb another fucking mountain again. I don't get it, dude.
you're not wrong. I mean, I think the only component of that I see as problematic, of course, is whether or not anybody's hiring, and that
Sure.
um, given that most of that sector here is in around the layoffs here, which goes back to that disease when everybody decided that the thing to do was to add like 50% more staff. Um,
Yeah, that was dumb.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're all
that was
facing the
dumb.
consequences. Um,
Yeah, but I mean, that's almost, I mean, come on, dude. Just a little bit of hindsight on that. It's kind of like, oh yeah, that was gonna happen. You know? So, yeah.
yeah,
It was like, yeah, when they spent all that money on the fucking the Marlins, we're kind of like, oh,
bills
this
does
team's
come
gonna
due.
really suck
Yes,
next
right,
year. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah,
It's like, can I take a look at what you have planned for next
yeah.
year?
Next year, no, no, no.
So you can see it. It's just a whiteboard with a whole bunch of like question marks on
Right?
it,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
fucking. Um,
So no, and I get that, man. But I mean, like that's one of the things, even with a company like that. So I've seen students do this in the past too. All right, so where they shoot the moon and they get like a job with a big flagship company, like right off the bat. All right, and then after 2 years, they're like, "Fuck this," I'm
hmm
out. But I mean, just having that on your fucking on your ribbon board, people are like, "Oh wow, where did you got that in Vietnam?" It
Yeah.
actually carries a lot of weight. And the other thing is like, I mean, all right, so like, I mean, if if you only interact with the people that you work with,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, and you're not actually talking to people laterally and, similar places and different, positions at different organizations and stuff. So, like, this happened to my brother like half a dozen times before he landed up at his company.
Mm.
Okay, where he was just hooked into that DoD world. And they're all kind of swapping spit with each other for a little bit. And then if you find a gig that's good and it's a company that's stable, fine, all right. But you find that by actually having that network and working that thing for a couple of years, you know, because then, if someone like, and I mean, he didn't even have a layoff when he got that job. They had an opening and he had someone approach him for it.
There you go.
That's like I haven't interviewed for a job in what? I haven't formally interviewed for a job since I would say 2014.
That's a while.
It has been a while. And I've gotten, yeah, and that was before I got put where I am in now. So yeah, it's been a minute. But that was all based upon just like, oh, I know a guy who can do that. So here, let me reach out to him. Call Pat. It's like, you free? Yeah, sure. Let's go, dude.
Are you working with these guys
I'll
still?
be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you plan on working them forever? Like,
I don't know. What do you
who
got?
asking me?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't know. What's on your mind, man? You
Yeah.
know? So, and that's, but I mean, I've seen that happen too, man. And see, that's the situation like back in the airline days, man, where you'd have like guys like my dad who worked for the same fucking company for 35 years. If, and he lost his job and it was like, well, what the fuck am I
It's a fair question. I mean, again,
so,
this is to be completely fair. Your dad grew up in a different America than the one that
totally.
we grew up
Yeah,
in, and
totally.
so are the people right now.
Oh, man. Dude, but they're going to be fine, man. I mean, that's the whole thing that
Well,
like
it's different, but
it's going to be different, but I mean, like think about this. I mean, okay, so all the kids today want to be like influencers or something like that, or they want to be, YouTube famous. That's a job that didn't even fucking exist 15 years ago, man. Or I mean, if it did, it wasn't certainly monetized, I mean,
no, that job was fucking like whacked out street preacher. That was, I mean,
exactly. Yeah, I know. So I mean, if you went in, like I remember when I actually got into UCLA, I was going to go be an editor. So,
yeah.
dude, my job would have been totally fucking different than what I thought it was going to be if I'd actually gone through that. Okay, I would have probably cut like two fucking Star Wars movies, and now I'd be cutting videos for Mr. Beast making like $1 million.
Maybe,
You know?
maybe because you know what? I don't know how many guys you'd be competing against at
I
that
have
point,
no idea either,
and
man.
how many?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then I would have been there before all of them got there. You
And your knowledge of fucking video toaster or whatever it is that
know,
fucking you,
toaster.
that was the name of the song. You know this the
I
thing
know.
where the thing that they used to do all the shitty like TV screen wipes
Yep.
and stuff is like
Yep.
I mean that was just what it was called.
Yeah.
So you would have had that knowledge.
Dude, that was like fucking hieroglyphs and shit. I can't remember
Fucking
what
when
you
you
did.
went,
I
like
know.
video editing involved like an exacto knife.
Yes. Yes, it did. And tape. Lots and lots of tape. So, and a little machine that went.
Guys, you may think we're joking.
We're not joking. We're not joking.
So yeah, this is the thing where that's the other component of it where they're like, well, again with like the housing and all this other stuff, and I'm at this point, the more I read about that, the more it's not that I can't see certain things, but the more that I'm seeing that this is just not an apples to apples thing. It was like
No.
there are trade offs and stuff like this, and the thing I get here when they talk about like, well, my dad worked at this place for 35, 40 years, expected to retire with the company. I guess the question I ask myself here is like, all right, are you willing to go back to the conditions that made America the way it was to
Mhm.
make that a reality and accept that?
Probably not.
I seriously doubt it.
Seriously doubt it. Yeah. I
I
mean,
seriously doubt it.
well, and you're talking about a different era, in not just in the structure of the job, but the importance that the job took in your life.
Again, yes.
Yeah. So, like, I'm sorry, you
Same
want
question.
2 weeks of vacation? It took my dad 15 years to hit 2 weeks of vacation.
No.
Okay, fine. So, yeah, I know. And it was like, oh, well, anything over 40 hours a week, they have to ask you. And it's like, no, they don't.
You have to pay you for it.
Maybe if you're that kind of worker.
Well,
Yeah.
well, this is what I'm saying. Are we rolling it back to my dad's time or not?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
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 You know,
Oh, yeah. No, you're 100% right. It's not just the 2 weeks thing. And then people are again they're looking at this. You go to a place like Washington or whatever, so like unions are our answer. It's like, well,
they're the worst answer that you could come up with
so
on the test.
we're like,
Yeah.
okay. Now with unions, the ones that have any bite, right? They have bite because they do have certain things that it's not just you get all the good things, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's the things you talk about with like the railroad where it's
Yeah.
well, so this is how long your work week is.
Yep.
That's like step number one.
Yeah.
Are you willing to accept a 90-hour work week?
Yeah.
That's the first question. They say like, but the union says I only work 7.5 and I get a 2-hour lunch. It's like, nah,
Not
man.
this union.
No.
Yeah, go
No.
read your contract. Yeah.
So the reason they have these conditions for you. So yeah, it's the whole like, well, we want to unionize Denny's. And so we wanted this to be a $25 an hour job. It's like
Denny's?
or whatever, right?
Yeah.
One of the ones that they were throwing around. This was I joked about this was um, there was some kind of movement where like the Waffle House people wanted a $25 wage.
You put half of them out of business overnight.
Well, I mean, there was,
Yeah.
the point I made was like Waffle House is the one place where I agree with that because um, based on the clientele, that's hazard pay. So
They just issue you a store gun, you know.
they have not done that,
Yeah,
and they
that's
have.
true.
I don't think that they actually have like certified shooters at Waffle House.
You get a 10-minute crash course and
It's fine. Yeah,
yeah.
watch the video. Yeah.
Watch the video. Yeah. Click, 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 click.
And you go out there and he's doing stupid things. It's you've seen the video.
Oh
Where
yeah,
it's
I've
like,
seen some of
it's
the
a
videos.
it's a Mario. So this is the company gun. And they're showing him the first step is like, so should Mario carry his gun A out in the open, spinning it around his finger and showing all the customers? You know, and then
Watch the video to see how this turns out.
you click it, it says emphatically no.
Emphatic.
Go ahead and go
Yeah.
back to number one. Yeah. Showing the second one is the correct answer. But yeah, you get my point. I was like, all right, well, this place is dangerous, but that's a different problem.
Yeah, that's not a union problem. That's a different type of
Uh-uh.
problem, man. It's a function of what kind of like business you're in, what markets you're in, the fact that you're open 24/7,
Correct.
there's a lot of things. But
What
I mean, like,
neighborhood you're in?
dude, you
Yes.
can't get any restaurant to fucking unionize. You would drive the restaurant out of business in a minute.
Well, Starbucks has a
So,
pretty solid pattern about this. Is
mhm.
the ones that unionized are the ones that get closed.
Yeah, yeah. So because they no longer make money.
Patrick, what? So,
Wow.
this, this thing you're saying here
Right,
of closing down the branches that are not profitable.
right.
I mean, so one of the things I've been saying is there are certain restaurants that have been getting culled. That's the best way to say it. Is
There's
um,
been a lot of restaurant culling going on lately, man. So, I mean,
Subway being one that has been,
Subway took a beating.
yeah,
So they closed hundreds and hundreds of them.
yeah.
So now, to be fair, that I think at one point in time they had like 36,000 outlets. It was like miles ahead of everybody else.
Yeah. Anytime that they saw like I don't care what store it was or what neighborhood, it's like, oh, okay. Well, if we can build a Subway in a mailbox,
right, yeah,
we're gonna,
we're gonna,
yeah.
yeah. So it was something ridiculous like that. I mean, they had like triple the amount of like
Yeah.
franchises
Yeah.
that. So like I had a former student that actually opened a bunch of Subways. He's rich as fuck.
Hmm.
So from it, it's a genius business model, but it's probably about 10 years out of date now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know. So people got in picky with food and like location isn't so much of I mean, it's still really important in that business, but not with DoorDash. It's a little bit different. So,
I had to. It was funny. I had to explain what an Olive Garden was when I was out there in San Francisco.
you don't have those there?
No, and more to so explaining this to somebody who was like, you just didn't. These were none of the stops that you made on your tour to America, was it? It's
No.
like, so you lived here, okay, got it. You lived here, got it. You
Got
lived
it.
here, and you moved here. It's like, okay, so let me explain what an
You've
Olive
seen
Garden
about
is.
1/100th of them. and both the weird parts too.
So I was this came after that whole thing where I caught these people just buying this fucking like $10 dessert, eating 2 bites, and then just like dumping it in the trash can empty, and like pouring like dirt and ants on it so that nobody could get to it. I was like, right to say it like in any other situation, like if this were like a date or something, that guy would have dumped you immediately. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, oh man, this goes back to the Olive Garden test. Like, what? So
To be fair, you guys made that one.
was well, so
Yeah.
so the first
It's okay that they don't know what that is.
there were two parts. It was
Yeah.
like, what test and what is an Olive Garden?
What was
So
it, the seafood portofino?
yeah, and
Yeah,
what is
okay.
the test?
It's
two
the
parts.
most expensive thing, and how much of it do you eat?
It's not just how much of it that you eat. There's a couple
Do you
components
take
to
it
it.
home? Is that part of it?
That's part of it.
Okay.
Okay, that's part of it. And do you order dessert
All
afterwards?
right.
Right. But that's so the introductory part is if you take someone to the Olive Garden and they just order like fucking mozzarella sticks or something like that, it's like broom this one because they're just like bar trash. Like you went out to here and they want to eat
Yeah. I
and
guess your calibration is a little bit picky for me.
it's a weird thing, but I get that. It's but the second thing was like, yes, do you order the most expensive thing on the menu?
Right.
Do you push it around on the plate, eat a couple of things, throw it out, right? If you say like, hey, you know what, I'm going to take this for lunch tomorrow, no problem.
Okay,
If
that's okay.
if you eat the whole goddamn thing and then say let's get dessert, no problem. Buy you anything you want as long as you eat it. But if you eat two bites of it here and then get dessert, there's no version of this where you can say like, Mom, I like this woman. She respects me and my money. Can't do it, right? Now,
Okay.
the other thing was like
What if she's not hungry? How do you get out of this if you're not hungry?
you put it in a box and
Okay,
you eat it
got it.
later. It's just
Can I just like order mozzarella sticks instead and not be thought
oh,
of as bar trash?
that's it. This is going under standard. This is going under standard things. Or again, some of that will require one or two things
Hmm.
to you have to have enough points to draw a line here,
Right,
right?
right, right.
So if you keep seeing this, you're like, man, wherever we go, all you're eating is just fucking like mozzarella logs. And it's like, yeah, okay, I get it, right? But yeah, if it's just like I had a big lunch or whatever, yeah, no problem. But then the second question was, well, what's an Olive Garden?
Oh yeah.
And so I was trying to explain it, and Marina's husband, he was like, oh, she doesn't know. I was like, yeah, like so when you go to, I was like, I'm trying to explain this. I was like, when you don't live here and you live in other places and your city has an Olive Garden, that's your Michelin star restaurant.
It's usually a pretty nice place. Yeah.
Right now, granted, if you live in a place like here, we have places where Olive Garden's not going to be your nicest place. It's
That's true.
you and I both know the places where
You know what? This town does not have very many fucking Italian restaurants anymore. That's one thing that we have lost a lot of.
we have lost a lot of
Yeah.
it. It's weird. There's a couple of them.
I can think of two. So
Well, have you looked?
yeah. So but like all the old favorite ones are gone. So
Hmm.
yeah.
But if you're going to go to a fancy place here, I can take you to a fancy place, right? I can take
You
you
can find
to
one.
a
Yeah.
$50 a plate, kind of thing here,
Oh
stuff
yeah.
like that.
You can find that.
But I was saying, like, in a lot of smaller cities, if you have one of these, this is
Yeah, it's a pretty nice
your
place.
5-star
Yeah.
restaurant, and that just it was like, and this is like a chain. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. Just tell next time that comes out, just say, okay, so what I need you to do is I need you to tell me what you think a middle class income is
Oh,
per year. Yeah. Oh, 250,000. Okay. You're not going to know what an Olive Garden is. Got it. Okay.
well,
I understand now.
or if you're in, it's like, isn't that like Fazoli's? It's like, nah, man.
Nah, man. That's,
No.
yeah. So
Olive Garden doesn't have a drive-through.
it's not a drive-through. Probably should.
If they want to go to the next model and say, what is the industry missing? That's probably it.
I haven't heard that Olive Garden is doing bad, though.
They are.
They are?
Well,
I guess
because
everybody is then.
it's part of the
Who's doing good?
Olive Garden is part. Well, you got to remember the other business that's tied in with Olive Garden.
I don't remember.
It's Red Lobster,
Oh,
and those guys they're starting to come out of a nosedive, but they had a really bad spot there.
yeah,
where,
they did. I remember.
you remember what killed them? Both businesses they had the same
It had
problem.
something to do with the buffet.
The never-ending.
Never any, yeah.
One it was Shrimp Fest and the never-ending Pasta Bowl.
Yeah.
Where
Oh, yeah.
people weren't coming unless it was those events,
Yeah.
and those events are big losses.
There's a lot of companies that have figured that out.
Yeah.
So even the old ship there figured out that you couldn't do $2 Tuesdays anymore. So, because it was just to attract a completely different crowd.
A good crowd,
No,
a big spending crowd.
no.
Mm.
A demanding, picky, extremely, what do we call, like cheap. No, no tippy crowd.
The
Yeah,
no tipping.
no tippy crowd. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so both of those businesses had to get away from that
Mhm.
model, which was tough for them because that was what people thought of them. So it took a little bit of time, changes, uh, getting that value over the rest of their menu again,
Mhm.
and now they're starting to climb out of it. But they had some serious problems there for a minute.
Well, some of the ones that I thought for sure that were going to die off didn't even remotely come close. Like Chili's came streaming back.
They figured it out before anyone
They
else did.
totally did. They were like, "Wow, you can actually have a sit-down meal for $9."
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
rather than sit in a drive-through and then just be told to go on the spot to wait for your fries.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought for
Yeah.
sure that them and TGI Fridays and Ruby Tuesdays and all those fucking. I thought they were
Ruby Tuesdays is
doomed.
doomed. Uh,
I don't know, man. There's one down like near my work. It's doing just fine.
that's
So,
down from like four in town though,
yeah, that's true.
right?
So,
TGI Fridays, same kind of thing. They're hurting. They didn't Chili's that up. They didn't they didn't switch that up. And you know what? I guess that's the thing is um, they had a very specific kind of distribution system that worked, and if all variables stayed the same forever, would continue to work.
well, that's true with any business model that you figure out.
Uh,
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's just so many classics that are like gone now.
oh yeah,
Like old Chicago's is fucking gone. So they're all gone.
are they done as a chain?
There is one left in Pueblo, and there is still the one down by the World Arena. And that's it.
Okay.
All the other ones, the ones they had in Nebraska, the Denver, they're all gone.
How
So
do you think Runza is doing these days?
I bet you in its community, it's fine because that's like their local Taco John's, man.
Yeah,
So yeah, people
yeah,
are like, no, don't fuck with this.
yeah.
It's like, you need us to torch the McDonald's, we'll do it. To make sure.
How many people here do you think know what Runza is?
One. That's me because I know you've never had one.
That is not true.
You've had a Runza?
I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I
It is an interesting thing.
I I would say this. I don't think it tastes what it looks like.
Nope.
That's the best way I can say it.
It looks like a tamale. It does not taste like a
This,
tamale.
like you read the ingredients and you start formulating this image and you're like,
Oh,
no,
no,
it's not.
not even close. Yep.
It's something different. I'll bet you I could get used to this, but I don't want to.
Oh, we used to eat them all the time.
Look, they're not bad. It's no. It's so remember my trip used to my trip used to take me through. I had the choice. Nebraska is one of the states I could go through on the way to
Yeah.
get back. So when I saw one, I was like, "This is the thing. This is the thing the guys have been talking
You
about."
probably stopped at the one that I used to go to. So,
You know what?
if it's in like central Nebraska, yeah, that's probably it, man.
Well, it's on the side. It was more on the western side.
Yeah, I know where it is. It's near Oglala. So
Could be.
yeah,
I don't remember exactly, but I remember stopping for gas, and I remember seeing one across the street from the gas station. Like, that's the thing. That's
there's
the
not
guys
that
talking
many of
about.
them, man. So they're not like Subways. So where there's one in every gas station
But
in
few things
town.
are,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think the Runza from where my yard was, it was about an hour away.
Oh,
So yeah.
oh, okay.
So when we were doing shit out east, we would go hit it. So and then we'd buy a bunch of them, and I remember we'd throw them in the fridge at work, and they're actually really good cold.
Wait a second. You are talking about the actual place called Runza,
The
right?
actual place, yes, not going to like the fucking Walmart getting frozen roses
Because people, yeah, that's
or
the
homemade
product, right?
ones. Yeah, no, it's
yeah.
a product. You actually go into the place and get it in the basket with the fucking waffle fries. So
Yeah, that
I
I
think
can
you could
remember.
get it with a half ear of corn, a corn cob, if I recall. I think you could.
I didn't order one, but
I
I
think
think
you
you're right.
could. Yeah, I think you could, if I recall. That's reaching way back into the Wayback Machine, man. So,
Yeah, there's a few places that were kind of odd chains that I remember going to. I remember in North Dakota, one of the chains was a Smiling Moose.
Oh, really? What do they have?
I
Just
don't,
like roast beef.
Pat. What I can
They
tell
sell
you
fur burgers.
is, well, that's the thing is I don't know if it was actually moose meat or not.
I doubt it was moose meat.
I think it could have been. It tasted weird.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. So
It was a North Dakota thing.
yeah, got it. Smiling moose. Huh?
Again, it's the same thing where people have. I've told them about the fettuccine alfredo burrito um, that I would get up there, which
Yeah,
is exactly the sum of its parts.
yeah.
But that is a pure value proposition right there. It's like, do you want one of these Chipotle tortillas stuffed with pasta?
With pasta.
Say no.
No.
But after a couple of times, you say yes,
Yeah.
and then you realize like I can get really full off of this
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's trucker food, man.
because I ate a fucking burrito full of pasta.
Jeez.
Like this is that shit they used to joke about, like that Bill Dauterive sandwich, that old thing of well, it's not expensive. You get a lot of food for $3. You know that sort of mentality, and they're like we have to study this man. He's the future
He's
of
a
this
genius.
country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, where am I?
Right.
But the answer is North Dakota.
North Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a little bit far from the swamps of Louisiana. So
Fortunately, it didn't work out there. There is earth grease around there, but it's just
dino blood.
I never worked in that zone. The other places people were frequently were Pennsylvania, uh, West Texas.
Yep. Been there.
I thought I was going to have to go out there, Pat. I was one phone call away from having to go out
Rattlesnakes,
there.
man. So I don't know. I never stayed there. I drove through it though. I stayed in El Paso one night and then I drove all the way.
How's El Paso?
It's fine.
Yeah,
So yeah,
just another city.
it kind of yeah. You can see the border, so which
Hmm.
is kind of interesting. I mean the river goes right through it, but then there's like I mean you can. It's just like two different cities.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and I mean, other than that, it's just a dusty, hot city. It reminds me of like Albuquerque, so it's very similar. So, and I mean, I've only been to Albuquerque a couple times and never like stayed for more than a day. So just because it was like, ain't shit to do here.
I say yeah. I've been through it, but that's not. I
Yeah,
don't count that as anything.
no, we stayed there. I think we stayed there one night once. So
Yeah, Tijuana is like alternate universe San Diego.
yeah, never been there. So never been there. So never been to Mexico actually. So I've seen it. It's like, yep, that is not America. Got
No,
it.
I know you've identified it from the air and
Yeah.
designated prime.
It's got these wavy lines.
Oh, I thought you were talking about identifying uh, structures to destroy or
No. Live and let live, man. So no, it's just yeah, like and then I did spend a little bit of time in uh like a little bit south of Baton Rouge. So
did you?
yeah, it's
What was
swamp
there?
country. There was a yard there called Livonia, so that a buddy of mine was working in, and we were actually doing training in Spring, Texas, so which is Houston. So
Oh, okay.
I spent a lot of time in Houston. I spent easily over a month in August in Houston. It was terrible.
You were
So,
near Tomball.
what is that?
It's a subsection of Houston defined by like business hotels.
Oh yeah. There was an Olive Garden. There was an Olive
Oh,
Garden.
yeah. Well, this is I.
All the guys wanted to go to the Twin Peaks, and they I think they had like what was it? What was the one that got really big there for a few years and then went completely bust?
Oh,
The movie bars.
the tilted kilt.
Tilted Kilt.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
Tilted Kilt was there.
You probably stayed in that same circle of.
it was a strip. So, and
Yeah,
there were
yeah,
a
it's like this,
fucking
like a
shitload of
racetrack.
hotels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, man, I spent like a month in one hotel down there. So,
What if you stayed the same one I did?
I don't
Because
remember what it was.
every corporate, when you went there, when I went there for Baker, I mean, you just looked out at the other hotels.
They were all like,
Everybody had the same.
all same,
It
same.
was all guys. It
Yep.
was
All
all yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
No. Um, but anyway, so this guy was a buddy of mine. Um, we had one, I think it was a week, uh, maybe a week before we got done down there. He was like, "Hey, come on out." And
Yeah.
so me and another buddy of mine went out and visited him for 3 days out there rather than go back home and then come back. So for the weekend,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And I did. Well, if you were out there for a month, you did try to actually see some of the Texas or like the Houston, the real like. No, you just
No, man,
okay. All right.
dude, these guys, all we did was get fucked up. So on like it was class all day, and everybody would be so fucking hot. They would let us out at like 2. So everybody go back, take a shower, take a nap, and then we go drinking. So it was one of those trips where after like 3 nights of that, I was like, I had to take a break. And everybody else was like, yeah, we need to take a break. It's just all slept that night.
No.
And then back the next day, how you feel? I feel good, man. Are we good drinking tonight? Yeah.
All right.
So no, there was no.
Okay.
Dude, these guys were greasy, man. They were not. They were not good dudes. So
Uh,
I mean, like one guy who I actually knew him from before. So just oddly enough, he got there and it wasn't 2 days before his girlfriend had driven all the way down from like Illinois and
why?
spent the whole like 3 weeks with him.
Any particular reason?
Because this guy was married and had 4 fucking kids. So, he's sitting at their bar talking to his wife while his girlfriend's sitting there slobbering on him. So it was, dude, these guys were not good dudes. So, I mean, a couple of them were all right. But, I mean, some of these guys, they're just like,
Get all you can take, huh?
get all you can take, you know. Yeah. And that wasn't the first time I had seen that happen. So
It is a.
it is a shockingly common thing amongst, certain groups of dudes. So
Why is that?
I don't know, Jeff. I never figured that one out. So I never figured that one out.
I mean, is it just? I don't know how to say this. I don't want to. So again, I have at times pointed out the numerous flaws uh, in the parenting styles of my parent. I don't. Obviously, I don't hold them personally liable for this ridiculous. Um,
Son of a bill.
my, I no, I do not do that. I do not. I've not looked into anything like that. But do you think that like where we grew up, that we just had a different or a I don't want to say unique because I don't think that's fair, but just a different expectation or um, grew up with certain like parents where it was like you just don't do that shit.
Yeah, but I mean, like for most of my friends, they were like that. So I think
Yeah,
so. I
that's what I'm
use that
saying.
as kind of like a baseline, and most people are like that too. But then you just find some people who just don't give a fuck,
Right,
about that
right.
at all, and that's just it's always been a mystery to me. So like Robert at the airport, I never got it. Yeah. So
Well, and again, so
dude, he cheated on his wife left and right. Yeah.
yeah, it's just and not even. I mean, I
And
don't.
he wasn't even picky.
I was just saying. I feel like a lot of his was targets of opportunity. I think. Yeah. I don't, whatever the mission was.
Yeah.
I think if he, if there was like, well, there's a train down there you could bomb. Like,
Right. Yeah.
okay,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah. You
hit
pick
it.
up some side missions
Yeah,
here and there. You know.
hit it. Yeah. Um, and again, so in certain like cultures, I'll say this, like, so I've had uh, friends that were Italian, and they kind of tell it to me, especially some of the older guys, where it was in a lot of ways like Korea used to be, where it's like, look, you get married,
Hmm.
what's going to happen is the wife's life is going to be about the kids. That's what she cares about.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so the guy is just expect nobody cares if this it's
Yeah.
expected that this dude's going to have fool around. Same thing. I mean, the fact that they have the term guma in Italian is very much the same way.
Yeah.
But I understand that's a their generation kind of thing.
And it's like might be cultural too, but I just don't see in any way where that would not actually hurt somebody's feelings badly.
I mean, again, unless
Maybe it might be a la 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 thing,
right,
but
right, right,
that
right.
still doesn't make it okay, man. Because if someone finds out about that and they're devastated, then obviously it meant something to
Well, that's the thing is why
them. I don't
if
know.
that's the case, what are you keeping it a secret for? Because there should be like open. And again, so
Yeah, because that shit never works, man. We talked about that a dozen times here. So
but just because it is doesn't mean that it
it
works.
doesn't mean that it works. Yeah.
The
So
existence. Oh, okay. That's the perfect thing. That's for the. That's the res ipsa loquitur thing, where it's like the
right
existence of the thing is the thing,
is
is
the thing. Yeah,
justifies the
it's just the
things.
thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I totally understand. Yeah, it's just like this is just how we do things. It's like, well, do you ever stop to think if it's right? I bet
Right.
you your wife's
I bet
pissed.
you don't like that at all, man.
Like, would she think? Like, I know you don't have
Well, I got
to.
to blow out some steam, otherwise I'll hit her. It's like, wait a minute, dude.
And we knew some guys that would come to work sometimes, um, and have not quite that, but like every now and then, like a dude we used to work with, Ron. Every now and then, when he'd talk about his wife,
Yeah.
he was, kind of subdued on a regular basis. So there was that kind of thing every now and then when he was talking about how mad his wife made him, like it was almost starting to come
Almost
out,
starting to, yeah. Right in the mouth.
little bit.
Yeah.
So. And then he would talk to Alex. He's like, "Well, you know how it is." His Italian wife's like, "Oh, I know, I know."
Yeah. They were different, though. They were Jehovah's Witnesses. So,
Yes, but
yeah. Where
but
was Al? Al was from Chicago, if I recall.
that he was.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was from Chicago.
You didn't say he was a station manager out in Chicago for a
I think
while?
he was or
Yeah.
something. Well, no, he was a station manager here.
Oh,
So
was
for
oh okay, all
Continental,
right.
yeah. But I think he was originally from Chicago. He was a
He
Chicago
definitely
boy.
was. Yeah, yeah. He talks
So
about that every now and then.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know, man. So I've never understood that. Um, like there's a couple things that just don't click with me, and that's one of them.
What, just not liking your wife?
Yeah, it's like, well, then don't be married. So, I mean, this isn't hard, man. I mean, yeah. So you're just making it hard. Same thing's true. That's like one thing that I've never really gotten. The other thing is any form of animal abuse. I've never gotten
Oh, for
that.
Christ's sake!
I
Yeah,
know, dude, but
yeah.
that's kind of on the same plane with me, in some respects, because it's extremely hurtful, and it's something that basically is just it's a lack of personal control and discipline that leads to that, or a lack of empathy more so than anything else.
Well, there's
So
two components of it that, especially as I work with some of the dudes that grew up on farms, they had a totally different look at things. Where, all right, so the same dudes I knew who could name and slaughter a pig,
yeah,
right? Um, had the fact that they could basically take a chicken's head, break it, and eat it, right?
yeah,
Was different from the fact that they would go out there into the area where the prairie dogs are.
yeah, and shoot the prairie dogs.
So you're going to know what I'm talking about here,
Yeah,
where
it's dude, farm guys get a pass, all right? So
it's,
because
yeah,
like every small, and I worked with a lot of farm guys out there.
You must have heard some of
Oh,
this.
dude,
Yeah.
every dude has a story about his prize pig that he raised when he was 8 years old. Blah blah blah. One blue ribbon, and then he had to slaughter it and eat his own pig.
Yes.
There is something about it that is completely different and foreign to fucking suburbanites like you and I. That being said, I never
Right.
saw a farmer or even heard a story about a farmer who beat a dog. So,
Unless, I mean, again, beating is different than basically like, well, I bopped him on the nose. Or that
that's
same thing.
totally different. Yeah, but just beating the dog, because it's a fucking dog. You
That's a
never hear
city guy thing. Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
city guy
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Well, like say for example, like your dad was not an animal abuser, but you said he pushed that cat off.
He did ball that cat. I did try and take a bite out of him.
Son of a bitch. Yeah.
He wasn't defending himself.
No, but there's a big difference between that and what happened to this little creature, man. It's
Exactly,
just,
yeah. And so it's like that cruelty for the sake of cruelty. And I've only known a handful of people who would lean into this. And it was all I was always about teaching a lesson. It's always I got to teach that guy a lesson or whatever. I'm going to teach that dog never to come around and do anything, something like that. It's like, no, you're not really doing that. Okay, there's something in you that is busted. All right, and you actually enjoy this and you're justifying it. Okay, to me because the only reason you're justifying it that way is because you know that it's wrong. So so
right, right.
yeah.
You know what? And this is okay.
And guys who
Yeah.
cheat on their wives kind of do the same thing. So yeah,
Well,
there's just something about that it really gets under my skin because it's just like, no man, you don't. If you're giving me a cover story, it's fucking wrong. So just don't do that. I
that's
mean, stop that. You're not going to sell me that. I ain't buying it.
it's a tough one, and especially in those kind of things where you're like, all right, so when did you? There's a version of this like how far back do we want to take this? How there's the
Sure.
things like what was your relationship with your parents like? Then
Oh,
there's
yeah.
this thing of like, okay, so chances are, and I know this is kind of a weird thing. It's like chances are this happened to you. You did this back, etc., etc. It's
Yeah,
like I don't want to get into the full details of it, but there's usually something there that's not just
no, but I mean, okay, so if I see a guy who's 45 years old doing that shit, it's like, all right, dude, you've had 25 years of self practice. You are the man that you have created now. So knock that out. I mean, it was always guys that were that age. So like, if I saw someone who's 23 doing that shit, it's like, all right, he's just a
there's a
kid.
little
He's
yeah
fucked up.
there's a little bit of that.
I
I,
got
I,
so
I didn't love it back then, but I mean I
nobody
understand.
loves that,
Yeah.
But still at the same point in time, you can extend a little bit of grace. But when you saw guys like Robert's age or fucking Eddie's age, doing shit like that, it's just like you're not a man. You're a little boy in a man's body. So you just can't control yourself, dude. So
Well, I mean, there's no version of those guys where at least to the point of it, there wasn't a part of it that wasn't it wasn't roller coastery. It was part of the
sure,
actual appeal of it was the risk of being caught,
that might
right?
be part of it too, but
Because
that's still a selfish thing.
oh,
So
this is
yeah,
not me
no,
justifying
I
this
know.
shit. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
but that actual instinct or that need, you have ways to deal with that in a way that is not
yeah.
putting someone else at the risk of being actually seriously hurt.
Especially when you have kids.
And all these guys did. I
all,
mean, that's
all of them
yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah.
Well, to George's credit, all of his kids are all grown up. Yeah.
It's this okay. So what you're telling me here is you're saying that he didn't start until
Oh, I don't know. I don't
you feel
know
confident that
well, and George did have one kid who I think was still in high school at that time.
or
So
close to
close to,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
somewhere around there. But he definitely had a couple kids that were grown and gone. So I didn't even know he was actually pulling that shit until I known him for probably like 4 or 5 years.
I
So
didn't know you till you told me.
yeah, exactly. So well, I can't remember who told me. He got caught.
Did Robert catch him?
I think it might have been Kevin. I think it was
Where are you
Kevin.
going?
Yeah, where are you going?
No, no, man, you just stay back here. I got stuff to take care of. Just
Yeah.
hang back, stretch. I'll be back in 45 minutes. Well, and it's weird again going back to those farm guys, and you can probably I remember having this discussion that went way over my head. But these were dudes that were talking about it, and it's so taking care of prairie dogs was something that had to be done, and this part was explained to me because it was like, well, they dig holes. Like,
Yeah.
go on.
You gotta fuck up your horse.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like the horses will step in these, and then
And then
your horse is dead.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you might be dead too. Yeah.
Now, the other part of this though, when they started talking about it, this is where the shit that I didn't understand was then they started talking about the rounds that you use. And like, well, you want these certain like grain rounds,
Yeah.
and you want these because they make the prairie dogs explode.
Yes.
You know that,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you
yeah,
you
yeah.
must have, okay.
Yeah.
Because part of it was, well, we're not going to clean all that up.
No.
The birds will do
The
that.
birds will come to
So
it.
you don't want
Yeah.
to just shoot them. You want to explode
Yeah.
the prairie dogs,
Yeah.
and that they did speak of with a
Yeah.
little bit of like.
Well, dude, I
So,
mean, if it's, I mean, that's just the same as being an exterminator, man. I mean,
all right,
eventually it gets
yeah,
to the point in time where it's like, all right, I've killed enough rats. They're just rats, kind of thing. So, and that's what prairie dogs are for farmers. Like in my territory up there on the railroad, we had prairie dog problems. They would burrow under the tracks. They would burrow in the yards, and so we actually had guys come in and clean them out. So
and
they
when they
would
cleaned them out,
they do it with a vacuum. So this was like this tanker truck that had a giant hose on the back of it.
well, I'm going to presume if that's the case, then that vacuum also has like spinning blades at the bottom.
It has a steel metal plate,
Okay,
and it flings them like kills them instantly.
all right,
And
well,
this thing was operating like because I had to go out and supervise it for a little bit, and make sure that point out the right spots for these guys to look. And sure enough, they fire it up. It's and then you start hearing this whack, thump, whack, whack, thump. And then after a while, you don't hear it anymore, and then they fill in the hole. So you go look for another one. It's just, and you don't hear any like that steel plate fucking works, man.
again, I'm not taking delight in these little creatures, but I mean, I understand exactly because. Correct me if I'm wrong. If they're burrowing under there, that actually can fuck up the train,
You
can't
can
it?
fuck up a lot of things, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, okay. So rodents and pests, it's slightly different. Now, okay. So I'm a city boy. If I catch a mouse in my house and my cat hasn't ripped into pieces,
Cats don't
so
care.
cats do not
Yeah.
care. They're fucking. They turn into like reptiles.
Oh,
When there's prey nearby. Yeah.
cats will fucking drag them out in front of a crowd and fucking and fucking peel them apart until they yell freedom. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. What did he ask? It's like kiss your king. What was it?
Was this about the eyeball pulling or what?
No. Where he had to kiss the king's seal. Is
Oh,
like, all you have to do is ask for forgiveness, and all the pain will go away.
just say mercy.
Just say, oh, that's what it was. Just say mercy. Yeah, that's a cat said. Just say mercy.
You got the crowd like calling out for it, but he's like,
See,
"That's different, man. That's
it's different.
animals are animals. It's a
Yeah,
different
I mean,
story."
I'm talking about straight up animal abuse, which we've all heard stories about. We've all known that one weird kid who used to fucking torture mice or something like that, or
Yeah.
fucking the guys who that dog was no good, so I had to put it down. Because it's like wait, what?
What do you mean no good?
Yeah, what do you mean no good? Yeah, so there was always stuff like that. So that's just kind of like it's like creepy.
And I can also there is something to be said where I can also understand where, especially with certain animals,
Or even like Kevin's dad, who just grabbed his dog and took him to the pound.
I'll put them down.
No, I don't think he put him down. He just like said, "Oh, we're not gonna have a dog anymore."
I thought he put them down.
I hope not, but there you go.
So this is so the problem here is me expecting I don't have a firsthand account of it per
Yeah, I
se
don't
in
either.
terms of being able to get other people's perspectives. It could have certainly have been. I will say this that based off of the limited knowledge I have and the time that I spent with him, there was a little bit of a disconnect there. Not something to the point where you'd say like this guy has been leading a double life and has 30 corpses somewhere in his time.
Yeah.
Right? This is
Not really a stretch though.
but there, I never looked at it and said I'm looking at the BTK of fucking Colorado Springs.
Yeah,
I didn't see that, but there was a little bit of callousness in him that was a little bit outside the realm
yeah,
of what I would consider normal, but not psychopathy. But there could have been a thing where it was look, the dog is either old or getting sick. I'm not.
my understanding at that point in time was he was just sick of like the dog pooping in the yard or something because the dog wasn't old. So
Dog wasn't old, but he wasn't young. But I mean,
yeah,
this is again, this is. Do not take this as me standing up for this. I just simply don't know all the facts. It could be
yeah, I
something
don't either.
where also it didn't seem like he was the type to go into full depth analysis with his kids and say, "Look, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
seeing.
yeah.
This, I'm seeing, hip problems or whatever, that kind of stuff." So it could have been that it was just done without a big consultation, but I don't know.
Well, regardless, it seemed to be something that traumatized all those kids.
Totally understand.
You kind
Absolutely,
of got that from all of them.
totally got that.
So yeah,
I completely ironic for a dog named Lucky, but
right.
the one thing I will say is there are people who take on pets like that and they do return them because they say, "Look, I am not equipped for a dog like
That's fine.
this." Right?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Right? And I see that. I understand it. And it is tough on the dog to go into another house and go out, or especially if you've had them for a few years. I'm like, yeah, I get that. But the idea of like, well, I'm not equipped to handle this. So off to the doggy gallows you go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the
That's
part
brutal.
that, yeah,
Yeah,
that.
there's something about that that just strikes me as like, ugh, really? Okay.
Well, and look, there are people that will say like, so this is something where obviously I've documented this before my grocery list of problems that I have with Islam where one of the things that they're encountering here in certain cities is look, your culture does not like dogs, um,
Yeah,
and when I
I've read stories about this.
yeah, when
Yeah.
I hear people in New York getting harangued by fucking Muslim people
Mhm.
because they're walking their dogs
Yeah.
and are being harangued and harassed and their dogs threatened because of
Yeah.
this shit. I'm sorry, man. There's a part of me that says, well, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize. This is the culture that we have here does not treat dogs this way.
Yeah.
And given how much shit that I've gotten, oh my god, the whole I had to explain the seniority thing a couple of times in San Francisco to different people because Marina just kept pointing. She's like, "You're not going to believe this shit." It's like, "What?" She's like, "So this guy says, it's like my friend here, you're going to have to answer for this." It's like says if there's a girl coming over, right, and she's going to get into bed. She's like, "You don't kick the dog out." It's like, well, no. It's like, why? Because she was here first. She put in the time. She has seniority.
The dog.
We can find a way to make this work. But
Yeah.
since,
Good fucking luck with that.
well, I was like,
Yeah.
since it's like, this means we buy a bigger bed, that's fine. But the ultimate thing, and now if it's an allergy thing, different thing, I get it. I get it. But it's like, this dog, since she came here, has been sleeping in the bed. I am
Yeah.
not going to just immediately kick the dog out and say, like, hey, look, your replacement's here. Sorry.
Yeah. We'll go stay at your place. It'll be fine.
Or whatever, right? That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so I understand that here in the states there may be a little bit of wow, you guys treat animals differently than we do. But also the same thing is yes, but you're here now,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's what we do here.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I
Well,
do.
I don't know, man. There's a difference between rank and seniority.
To you, I mean,
Yeah, definitely to me. There's definitely a difference between rank and seniority. So you got seniority on my wife, but she can absolutely pull rank on you.
so look, I understand. I understand that in some places, like yes, I went up over here, but this one still went to OCS. So this is an officer you salute. Doesn't matter how many years you have in it; is what it is.
Yeah, no, she outranks you by a lot. Yeah.
So I get it. I understand that that's a difference. People can see it, different ways, whatever, right? But the whole thing of like, yes, but I'm here. I come from this culture. Um, you
I
have
don't
to
think
adapt to
that's as
something that
bad in the
demands
United States as it is in some other places, man.
what
So,
animal friendliness.
no, just like lack of cultural assimilation. So, I mean,
Depends on how you handle it.
you can find some pockets where people stay pretty insular, like Hasidic Jews and stuff like that. There's probably like Dearborn, Michigan, where you have a large Muslim community. New York's always been that way, so fuck it. It's always had its own neighborhoods, man. And they change over time.
They do.
But then like I've been listening to a lot to these British guys lately. Fucking England is fucked, man. So
Double,
there are
triple.
entire like towns that have been taken over and stuff. And
Yes.
Ireland is just as bad. I was actually listening to a guy from Ireland who was making sense the other day. And I'm telling you, Jeff, the last 10 people that I listened to from Ireland were crazy. This guy was like, if you go back home to Ireland, they're going to kill you.
Bro.
So, you know, um, yeah, I just didn't realize it was that bad. And here in the U.S., so okay, so all right, like I said, you're going to find it in a couple neighborhoods, but like Michigan isn't overrun with Muslims. Okay, so I mean,
No, it's segregated.
it's one town,
Yeah.
so in the entire thing, and even that town only has one congressional seat. Okay, and even that, it's not a lock. Okay, so I
Well,
mean, it's talking about a very small community that's actually holding a seat in that case, and then it's not like it is in like, so these guys are explaining how it is in Sweden, where it's basically every town has
Sweden
this now. Yeah.
has had it.
Well, I'm sure they'll figure it
Oh
out, man.
boy.
I mean, they are Vikings for crying out
Oh
loud.
no.
They'll
Have
figure it out.
you
Oh,
Sweden?
you mean they're fed up with it?
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
they're
that's
fed
fine.
up with it.
I
They have.
thought you meant like had it.
Oh no. Well, listen.
He's done. He's going.
No, Pat. No, I'm not. I'm not saying they're flatlining, and I'm also not saying that they have not. If they had said Deo's fault, I would have known.
Yeah, it would have been on Twitter.
Right? I would have. uh, if that would have happened, if they just said like, "Hey guys, for those of you who know, it's crusading time, so if you can
Yeah.
get if you can get the time
The
off,
snow has broke.
right?
Time for raiding.
If it had happened, I would have known. I hang out in the place.
Meet you down at the pier.
But what they have done, Sweden has set up very specific rules in terms of redefining. They're like, we have certain criteria now that we are now judging this by.
What, for immigration or like retention?
Yes,
Okay, got it.
yes to both.
Okay, so fine. So I think that's probably where a lot of Europe is going, where they can do that. It just seems like England is so far gone,
Yeah.
because like this, and I don't know that much about British politics. I've been like doing crash courses on it a little bit lately, just because I've been following those YouTube
They're
rabbit
like
holes.
fucking space aliens.
Well, this whole like, I mean, there's like a large majority of the Labour Party, but the reason why they have that large majority is because of these folks who get elected by basically turning a blind eye to like what a lot of these communities are doing.
Yes.
And then they vote in blocks. So now I guarantee that's not something you find in the United States. Okay, so
Just in the local areas. Yes.
that you might find it
Yes.
there. Okay, so but this is definitely not something that's going to go like national like it has in fucking Britain. So, but just realizing that like I mean, and Scotland is terrible at the, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like, wow, I thought that would be the place that wouldn't do this. Apparently, I'm wrong about that. So, but and then Ireland is just so far gone. And then I was actually doing a little bit of reading on France, and France has actually got a little bit more like spine when it comes to some of this stuff.
They do now.
They do now. Yeah. So, but it's almost like, aha, yeah, okay, so you can't wear that. You know?
They're the ones that started actually. Yeah, in like I think it was like 2011. They were the ones that straight up said like,
Yeah.
yeah, fucking no ninja costumes in
No
public.
ninja
This
costumes in
is.
public. This is France. You know?
Whereas, look, and I know, look, we had a little run in with that here right around the same time where people were using that France example of as a counter because I know they did that as like a workplace thing, right?
Hmm.
Where they said, "What is she wearing?" It's like, well, that's the thing that they wear. It's like, and I know guys tried to circumvent it. And they said like, yeah, well, I like the Knicks, so I want to put my hat on too. They're like, it's not a hat. I'm like, tell me how it's not a hat. And
Yeah, we
so,
sorted that out, though. Yeah.
so basically, yeah, it's the same thing. Where yes, if the airline says that it all fits under the umbrella of workplace accommodations, right, or reasonable workplace
Well, it's
accommodations,
reasonable
right?
accommodations, but
Um,
there's religious exemptions to that as well.
well, that's I know
So
that's how they tied it. It's
they
weird
fight it every couple of years, but
and good, good. If
that's fine.
the
So
good thing about it is that it is flexible and they can re-examine it from time to
uh-huh.
time here. That's what it should be done. But yeah, the more that you look into like the British system of what their elections are actually like,
They're weird, man.
again, that's you're like,
Yeah.
this is how like space aliens elect people because it's weird. The where I love the things where they say like, well, so here's where we're superior. Listen, and we're going to teach us. Like, go on. It's like, well, we have five parties,
That's wrong. That's bad.
and what
That's
happens?
bad.
Yeah, is the five parties? It's not really five parties. It's two big parties, and what happens are the other parties sort of instead of voters, they get courted by the other
Yeah,
parties to vote
they get
that
a
way.
yoke on the other party, and one of the big parties they get to drive it
It is the
around.
most
Yeah,
illusory
it is terrible,
presentation
man.
of
Yeah,
well, this is why it's different. This is why it's like, we're talk about first past the post, blah blah blah. It's like it's the same thing,
same thing.
but with less actual representation.
Less bullshit.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. And then when you say like, well, so who gets to be? Do you vote for this guy? It's like, no, you vote for the party,
yeah.
and the party will
Party picks the guy.
select.
Yeah,
You say, how does that make sense? It's
yeah.
like, well, it's superior.
No, it's not. I'm 100% convinced that the American system is far superior to the British system. First of all, it's in writing. It's always a
Why
good
does that
first.
matter?
It's always a good first step. Because I'm sorry, we're gonna play this game. We gotta have a rule book. This is a ball. That's a strike. Got it. Write it down. No, we'll just all agree that that's a ball and a strike. Write it down.
No, it's just a me thing.
It's just a me
Okay,
thing. We're going to write it
I've
down,
been
and then we're
burned on
going
this
to vote on
before.
it to make sure that we're all on the same page. So yeah, so
We have a
yeah.
gentleman's. I
No,
know,
no,
I know,
no,
I
no,
know,
no. I
I
know, I
know.
know. I'm just that guy. Yeah,
Thank God we come from a legacy of that guy.
we do.
Um,
But then the two-party system is pretty good because it actually does a better job of keeping the parties a little bit closer to center. Um, you know,
right,
it does,
right.
man. So like, and that was demonstrated what yesterday when they. Who's the guy who crossed the king?
Thomas Massey,
Thomas Massey, who's now being put to
who
pasture.
is
He's on a fast track to a fucking show on Blaze
who
TV.
is right now being asked if you just say mercy.
Yeah. So,
Of
free
course.
now. You know?
I don't know what kind of call for freedom you're making when you're fucking plugging our representative here in Colorado, but
Who?
oh, Bobbert.
What about her?
That was his.
Oh, that was his girlfriend?
Yes,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yes, that is correct.
Oh. Have you seen her body tattoo?
Come on.
Oh, dude, you gotta Google it.
Is
As a
it?
former oil man, you'll appreciate it.
I don't normally look things up here, but
It is the most 2008.
please tell me it doesn't say fuck fighter trip pipe.
Well, so I didn't know that, but whatever. She doesn't bother me that much anymore, man. She had to mellow out in order to make sure that she could stay in Cherry Creek a little bit. But
This
Mass,
is a really. This is
it's horrifying, dude.
The one that they basically gave out for free at the mall.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well, this may as well be barbed wire.
You're right.
Okay, so again, so if you're talking about the person that you take to the restaurant and just orders fucking like chicken fingers and
There you
fucking,
go. Yeah,
this is, oh my God.
yeah. She would get fries with it, man.
Oh, this is,
You gonna get some ranch with your Alfredo? Yeah.
so again, this is,
I'm gonna dip my bread in it.
you just, like, I don't know how much, can I order 2 beers now?
Now, yeah, I see happy hours at 6, man. So, you punch me in for 4.
I'm not going to drive right
I'm not
away.
gonna drive right
Yeah.
away. Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah. So and then like you're kind of seeing the same thing. Like I've been watching that LA thing since you and I were talking about it the other day.
What do you
Dude,
think?
oh my God, there is so much good shit. The internet is just a
This is,
gold mine right now
politics is
of
not what it was when we were
hilarity.
younger.
Yeah.
No, that
So,
Rubicon has not just been crossed.
oh, dude, we filled it in behind us.
Like I don't. So you've watched a game or two of baseball in your
I
lifetime,
have watched a few games.
and so I don't know if you're. So I presume sometime in like 1919 or whatever it is when this was a gentleman's game and they'd go out there and chalk the lines of the batter's
Mm-hmm.
box. But if you've noticed, what the batters do in the first couple of innings is they take a step back and they start scraping the
Shit
back
is
of the line
confident,
with
yeah.
it. Yeah, that's correct because you're supposed to stand in there. But if you systematically destroy that thing inning by inning, you can find a little bit more space at
Yeah,
the
yeah.
batter's box, and it's like we don't even draw the line anymore.
Oh, I
It
don't.
is a different.
It well, it is, but I mean, like the structure of the race is still the same, man. I mean, like okay, so maybe the
This is true.
content's a little bit
Yes.
different, but the fact that like the 3 people in this race, where Karen Bass is in the middle,
Right.
it
Right.
and so this Spencer Pratt guy, who like Donald Trump, like he doesn't even really know. That was obvious by one of his tweets. So
Look, it was shocking to me because I remember back in the day they used to talk about, they used to call them like reality star TV trash.
right,
They talk about Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag, I think,
yeah,
right? And they were this couple. That's where I knew them from.
yeah, I didn't even know them from that. So
So fucking like 3 months ago, when
mhm.
they said Spencer Pratt is running for office, I was like, it's just me, please. This must be some guy.
Right, yeah, you didn't think it was that guy.
It's that
Yeah,
guy,
it was that guy.
right? Because when the thing is, when you hear that like Ronald McDonald's running for Senate, you think you think it's just some Scottish guy or whatever, right? Then you look,
It's that
and
guy.
he's got the fucking
It's
nose
the
of the
guy.
wind on. I was like, no fucking way.
It's like, who named their kid Hannibal Lecter? Come on.
It's the
And then you're
guy.
like, wait a minute, it's the
him.
guy.
Right. Yeah. Because it's not like those two names are really that uncommon. Where
No, I get you.
yeah,
But anyway, my point behind that in some respects was just like, okay, so he's obviously not some hard light right fucking Tucker guy.
no,
Not even close.
not even
Okay, not
close.
even close. And so, but if this was Britain,
Right. Right.
he would be, and I mean, yeah, and that's just one of those things where you kind of see like how bad it's gotten
Right.
because it's so, like you literally, if you're on the other side of whatever the ruling party is, you'll root for whatever in order to get that out,
Right.
or
Right.
the same thing, if it's your guys who are in, you will defend whatever in order to keep them in.
Yeah.
Even this craziness that's going on in some of these towns in Britain, it's just nuts because they had that big rally the other day. So,
Rightly so.
well, it was both of them running at the same time, and I was like, wow, I'm surprised. The cops actually kept them separate. This time,
Well, this okay. This is the part that the question is, when do you need to be concerned? If you're the government, when do you need to be concerned? All right. So the ultimately here, as all governments in the Western world know, you don't have to be concerned about demonstrations until the white people get mad. And when I say the white people, I mean the overwhelming majority. And I'm saying this here because, look,
I don't even say it's white people. When the normies started getting mad,
that's what
that's
I'm
when
saying,
you have a problem,
right?
You know, yeah.
And that's where I'm counting a lot of the white people because that's where a lot of the normies lie, just in terms of racial demographics, right?
Sure.
Because over here,
There's a lot of Hispanic normies now. There's a lot.
a lot of them are honorary whites. There are a lot of there are a lot of Martinezes in this country
There
that
are
if
a
you
lot
ask,
of
it's like,
Martinez's in there.
what's your background? It's like, oh, white
Distinctly
guy.
more conservative than me.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. But yeah, you've been here long enough. You've been kissed in as white. It's okay. But that's the thing is once you get those people on the street, now
Now
you're in
you got a
trouble.
problem. Yeah.
And that's when you actually have to get the cops out there because the whole thing, like,
Well, Britain's gotten close to that a couple times, man. So,
they're getting there.
They're getting there.
They're getting dudes that are.
Dude, this is how I got hooked on that Ireland thing. Apparently, they had one the other day where they had to call out the army to actually like get these guys to disperse, and they did.
In
this
Ireland.
time.
Yes. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So it was kind of like, wow, when you already know that you have to call out the army, that's bad. So
Well, because in Ireland, if I recall, that one was. There's a reason you need the army is because when you see those Irish guys out there, and yes, they're still because they're from that part of the world, they're still largely more polite than your average American, but rude for them.
Yeah.
And when you're seeing this group going there, and you just ask them a couple of simple questions, it's like, "Sir, where are you going?" It's like, "Oh, the immigrants are here." It's like, "Sir, why do you have that gas can?" And they would politely say, "It's like, oh, 1 and 1 makes 2," or
right.
But they were there to straight up like torch hotels where these guys were staying.
Yeah. I saw that.
In Britain, in the UK, just like 2 days ago,
Yeah.
where that Sikh dude stabbed that fucking guy.
I didn't see that, but
Jesus Christ. Okay, so this is reverse George Floyd. Okay, so there's a Sikh dude.
they're not Muslim though, are they?
No, they're Muslim adjacent. Okay, they're just, as far as they're concerned right now, it's one and the same. Okay, they in terms of who.
I thought they were from a different. Aren't they from Bangladesh?
Oh, so India, Bangladesh.
I don't know that much about that part of the world, so I can't really tell you.
But it's part of a group who's they're kind of seeing this all on one side here because when they look at it, they just basically break it down into, look, here's the crime rate of regular white Britons, and here's everyone else. So they're lumping them into two groups, okay? And so there's a dude, and he's got his ceremonial Sikh knife, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, they have video of this dude running away from this guy. Now, evidently, they say there was some kind of altercation. The Sikh dude said that there was racism afoot. He stabbed the other guy, the white guy, okay? Now, what happened was the cops arrested the white guy.
Oh, dude, I don't even want to know about British cops. It's weird.
Well, this is what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They
no, I got you.
arrested the white guy. He told them he'd been stabbed. The cops are recorded as saying, "I don't think you have." They cuffed him, and he died.
Oh, that sucks.
And they were arresting him because the other guy said he'd been racist to him.
He's been racist. So.
I shit you not.
No,
I am not embellishing
you,
the details.
I believe you. It's like it's so far gone, man, that you just can't really like. I mean, what do you take from that?
Okay, so
yeah, I know exactly. It's like okay,
you either
you guys got to fix your shit,
that's
or you're gonna lose it. Whatever. I guess it's up to you guys. It doesn't belong to me.
Again, this is where again, even if you're the ruling party, even if you're Labour, what you have to do is you have to pull the release valve and say, for the sake of our women, we have to do something about this. Because if you don't, right? If you're wondering, so
I don't know, man. I mean, like they'll have to figure it out. So
figure it out nicely. I mean, again,
or it'll go the way that it goes. So like, so everybody keeps talking about like we're gonna have civil war in America. We're not. It's not going to happen, okay? because it's going to happen in Europe first. And we're going to take a look at that. We're like, oh, no, no. It ain't going to happen here, man. So, not even close. As much as everybody in Europe wishes it would happen,
Oh,
it's
we
not
could
going to
set that
fucking
table
happen.
for them
Yeah.
and just say like, so this is how it went down in the United
Right.
States,
Yeah.
and so um, yeah, no, I understand,
It's
and
not going to happen.
yeah, and I so the question of like how did it come to this here? I guess I've heard a couple of different stories. Right, is a lot of dudes have said that it was a post-war thing. It was a post-war attitude. It was a um, there was a lot of guilt. There was a lot of like, no, we need to change our ways on this. Multiculturalism became a huge thing.
Well,
Um,
sure. But I mean, like, a lot of it has to do with the breakup of empire and stuff like that. But that was inevitable, man.
well,
So,
yeah,
I mean, you
you
can't.
guys didn't want it.
Well, it's not that you just didn't want it. You just couldn't. I mean, you were bankrupt.
Well, it's
Fucking
yeah,
England like came out of
yeah,
World War I with a
yeah.
zero balance, and then came out of World War II with a fucking negative. Here you go, New York. You get to keep everything, kind of thing. So, and remember that we didn't exactly back up the English on a lot of things after the war. So the whole thing in Egypt and Cairo and Syria, where they tried to flex, and we didn't send anything down to the Falklands, even though that was 20 years later. I mean, there was a lot of times where we were just like, yeah, no. So you don't have the bank account to play at this table, man.
Right.
And so, like, and one of the good pieces, and one of the guys that I follow who's English, just talks about like this idea of like national, acceptance of decline. So, kind of thing,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it's just like, oh, well, we had our day, and so we're retired now, kind of thing. And I mean, Thatcher fought against that, and so did Tony Blair in a lot of respects, from what I understand. I don't remember either of them really that well. Um,
well,
Nor have I read about them that much, so fair.
yeah.
But still, at the same point in time, watching some of that bleed over here and then see the finger wagging that we get from them, it's like, guys,
Yeah.
relax. And I'm not saying that to the British, I'm saying that to fellow Americans here. It's like, fucking relax, man. We're in a way better spot than you think we are. Just go take a look at that guy over there.
Well, this is again. This goes to again something I was called to sort of answer for my country again when I was in San Francisco. With all these foreigners about. It was like, well, you got to understand that this country is. I understand that you want to draw these comparisons to other countries, but we're not. And
No, it's different.
The biggest thing that I can point to is that look, um, the question is when did so it's like do any of you know? It's like when did the United States become the number one GDP of the world?
Oh yeah, it's like 1890 something.
Right around there.
Yeah, it was before World War One.
It's
Yeah,
it's considerably before. I mean,
yeah.
not
Well, not
cosmic
like
scale,
decades
but
before.
in terms of country wasn't that old at
No,
that point. Okay, um, so it's like okay, so we're
and that
talking.
was after we had a giant civil war. So yeah,
Correct.
yeah,
Yes. So it was like okay, so late, uh, early to late 1890, right
18,
around
yeah,
there. Okay,
1890s.
it's like there's only one time that's flipped at all. Once
I don't think it has.
it did briefly in
During
World War II,
oh
Germany.
well, they were cheating.
That's
They were cheating, man. So they're sitting there, was like, yeah, so loans count, right?
so
Trust zeros on this dollar.
so ultimately, Patrick, realistically, no. As far as the record book says, in terms of like
No.
asterisk ass numbers,
Yeah.
it one time that's and it has not changed ever since then. And ultimately, here, as much hot air that China wants to blow about their numbers,
Their numbers suck.
they're not even close.
They're not even close, and it's absolutely full of. Like, I mean, what is it? It's not. So everybody uses like PPP, purchasing power parity, which is a stupid way to. It's a stupid way to actually do that, because then if you actually go per capita GDP, they drop to like 80. So,
Right.
yeah, exactly. Which
And then
just tells you that okay, So shit in China is cheap, but 95% of the people are too fucking poor to even afford cheap shit. So
Right. Right.
it's like, yeah, you guys got a little ways to go, you know? And I mean, I don't know, man. I like after the thing that happened last week and stuff like that, I'm not worried about China at all.
No,
No, I'm not worried,
not even a little bit.
dude. And here's the kind of rub behind it, and I know that China guys kind of feel this way, even though they don't express it. But Chinese people and Americans are very similar in
On
certain
a
things.
base level,
Yeah,
right, right,
you
right,
know,
right, right.
you know, what do? You buy a house, you buy Crocs, you go to the mall, you watch a shitload of movies.
It is the human condition. It is, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You're right.
you spend more money on food than health. You know,
Let me just say it this way.
yeah,
Okay, you have to go a long way along the flow chart to the part where you get to the key differences. But you're going to
you
have a
got to
lot
go
of
a long way.
yeses
You're gonna have a
on the
lot of
same shit
yeses.
before you hit the fundamental no's.
Well, see, that's the thing that's funny is you're gonna have more yeses
Way
on the
more.
China versus America scorecard than the China or the Russia versus America
You
scorecard.
are
You
correct.
have way more
Yes,
yeses.
yes.
So, yeah, Russia's kind of like this dinosaur. You throw your mother-in-law into the pit. Yeah, after you get too old, you know. So you fix things with nuclear weapons. Child abuse is mandatory, you know. So yeah, and then like there's all these things that if you look at the difference between Americans and Chinese, it's actually like, oh yeah, I actually really are simple. Oh, they're communists. Is like, yeah, kinda.
Like if you corner one and ask them,
Yeah,
they'll look left and right first and say, "Yeah, I'm
yeah,
communist."
I'm communist. Yeah, but like they don't have a pension system. You
No,
have to pay at the hospital
that
before
is
you get treated. This is like shittiest communist system ever. You know?
so. I mean, yeah. If your definition, like you say, so what do you mean communist? Like, well, they said this stuff in school. It's like, no, but what does it really mean? It's like,
Yeah,
it means I don't get to talk bad about the boss.
that's what it means. Yeah,
And there's a lot of places in the United States where they'll say the same thing. It's
that's true.
off, right?
It is off.
Because the
Yeah.
fundamental thing here is like, guys, you can't have a no King's Day when your king lets you do this,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So, but to get to the point there again of the whole thing where they said like, well, the European Union equals the GDP. It's like it did for about 2 years, and then that gap has only split.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gotten worse and worse and worse. And the other thing is the EU is. I mean, I've heard this from a lot of my European students. They're like, well, we like the idea of it, but it's fundamentally, you're still German. You're not European.
Yes,
You're still French.
yes, yeah,
So it's kind of like, yeah, so I'm European in the sense that I'm not American. And it's like, okay, fine.
yeah.
But like, I mean, and the other thing is, it's like, okay, so is England in, out? Yeah, well, I don't know. We got our own money, blah blah blah. But then I mean, the whole thing about like Ukraine and stuff like that, where like you hear like different things from different countries within the EU,
Right.
you start realizing it's like, wait a minute, this thing is just a mini UN. Got it. With its own money.
Kind of.
Kind of. All right. So, but you can't do anything. I mean, Poland turned around and told them all to fuck off. So it was like, yeah, we're going to stay in the EU because you need us more than we need you. That's true. And they said, well, then we're going to use a lot of our money to buy tanks because that guy.
You have a problem with
You
it?
have a problem with that?
Buy your own
Yeah, buy
tanks.
your own fucking tanks. Yeah, exactly. So, and then, it's just like, okay, so that's obviously, it's not going to work as it was planned. And yeah, you just look at the numbers. And I mean, you stack it up against any other country out there. I mean, Japan's GDP has shrunk in the last like 5 years. So, and I mean, it's not burning down and sinking into the sea,
No,
kind of thing. It's just fine. But still, at the same point in time, it just like America line go up, over and over and over again.
correct. That is the thing about America that's
It's distinctly American.
and when people say like you're talking about like, well, we got to use triple P, it's like, well, no, you don't, because
No, you don't.
the problem here is GDP isn't just a measure of economics; it's a measure of what that country can do
Yeah.
to the world at any given time.
It is. It's not just a measure of memory. It's also a measure of RAM.
Oh my god! If you must break it down into kilobytes, yeah, you are absolutely correct. Yeah, it's and that's the because ultimately, this stuff going around the world. It's like, well, how can they think it's who voted to let you do it around? It's like we don't vote to
We don't
allow.
vote.
We do it because line go up,
Yeah.
and yours don't.
Well, and the other thing about it is like, I mean, so the whole argument, I mean, he's being a little sneaky with this. Oh, ceasefire, not ceasefire, ceasefire, not ceasefire. It's like red light, green
God, I
light.
know.
So it's like, all right, you're being a little shady, your boss, but whatever. But ultimately, like, I had a guy kind of put it really well the other day, because it was like, you've listened to that Sarah Payne. So,
Yeah.
yeah, she's great.
Oh,
But
yeah.
anyway, she was talking about land powers versus naval powers.
Oh,
And so that's all we're doing is we've just got them in a headlock right now. And then as their boats come, we just grab them. So, and eventually they're going to run out of boats. All right. Because we
yeah.
know where they all are.
Yeah.
Okay. And, they're like, you can get, so the pictures aren't that up to date just quite yet. Because I get on Google Earth and I look at shit all the time
Yeah.
just to
Okay.
kind of see
Yeah.
what's going on
Yeah.
in the world. That's where I saw in Gaza the other day. It's fucking covered in tents. It's like, where's genocide?
There they are.
Yeah, he's like, can you point me to the shields where you guys got all these? It's like, oh, wait, they were given to you. Got it. Anyway,
Looks like a great place to build a camp.
but I mean, just like the amount of like, there's a few pictures of like Iran's borders with like Turkmenistan,
Mm,
and it's just trucks forever, and it's just absolutely lined up. People carrying oil in like fucking gallon milk jugs. And shit, I'm dead serious, dude. And it's like, oh come on, it's coming.
right.
It's like this is not going to work out, man. With a nation of 80 million people, come on, man.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is not going to work out. And so, and then like you think about it, and there was a lot of people who were like, "Oh my God, who gives the president and the Americans the right to actually shut down this waterway?" And it's like, well, why don't you talk to those fucking guys? Okay. And then in the meantime, gas station here open for business. Help yourself. I mean, we serve everybody, so
Right.
no problem.
Right.
And then like this is where the real 3D chess is coming in. This is what this guy was pointing out. And you might want to ask your Russian friends about this, but there are people in Russia who are starting to turn on that fucker. Okay, because they're starting to realize that the only thing that's keeping them from getting seriously fucking paid is him. Because if you basically take the Persian Gulf out of the oil market out there, now Saudi Arabia's got a pipeline; it can get theirs out through the Red Sea, but Iraq can't, Kuwait can't, Oman can, the UAE cannot, and Bahrain cannot. And so, like, you're talking about, like, I mean, oil production better than I, but if we had a top 10 list, they're probably in the top five. And so, think about that. You're playing in the AL East, and three of those fucking planes go down. You're in the fucking series, baby. So,
That is correct.
and I think that's what the Russians like are starting. There's another guy that I watched, and he kind of came at this obliquely. And he was like, there are people that are saying things that they would not have said 6 months ago in Russia because they realize there is an ocean of money out there that is waiting for this
Right
war
here.
to end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. The problem is there is one part of and that this is the Russia thing, and it's just where it's like, guys, you just didn't grow up in this neighborhood, you don't know.
yeah.
There is that one last component of the. It's a C-3PO thing. It's a so there's this dumbass thing where that where that thing when it gets cast out on a desert planet, and he just says, "This is our lot in life to suffer." And there's just something. Well, that's the thing is, and that's yeah. So C3 or R2D2 in fucking Robot Ease or whatever, he tells him, it's like, man, fuck you then, and he just like, I don't know, drive off and deliver this message, bitch. And
Yeah, he kicks him, didn't he?
he does.
Oh no, he bonked him. Yeah.
Yeah, but he does. He's just like, well, I don't need you around then, bitch. And there's this thing about like with Russians that is the history of all mankind is the history of like, well, I'm still here though.
Right.
Shit could be worse, right?
Yeah.
These the rules are the rules. And again, there's this weird thing of
Yeah.
like, well, if the rules are the rules, then why are you driving on the sidewalk? But it's just like
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah.
this is how this is like. But we have an understanding. We have an
Yeah.
understanding. We understand that um, these are our four big cities, and as long as the people in these four big cities are still getting fed and they're still going to college, and their parents are still making money, and
Yeah.
things are okay, the other 99%
Peasants.
of this country that
Yeah.
isn't this,
Yeah.
right? Well, exactly. It's like, well, serfs weren't slaves.
Exactly.
Like, look at the dictionary. It says they're not
Not
slaves.
slaves.
It's like they have their own name. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like,
Right.
well, I'm a serf. Serf is dad was a serf. Son will be a serf.
Yeah.
It is what it
Uncle's
is.
a serf.
Yeah, it's just
Brother's
like,
a serf.
it's
My
like
boy will be a serf.
yeah, for them it's kind of like, and again that whole thing of you expected them to have grown and developed in the same way that you in the United States is like, but haven't you been around for longer? It's like, yes, but we were like knights and horses before.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Like
You guys run around with that little the fucking shield.
it was very it's like, Jeffrey, we were a feudal system
Right.
before those communists came.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't really consider that. It's like,
That
yeah,
is true.
you have to do some growing in between
Yeah.
there because otherwise it goes from crap to crap, and you just see different people, but the crap is the same,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, oh, I didn't quite get that. So yes, there are people in there who are becoming intolerant of the crap, but because of the way the system is set up, there's still enough goons around, this
Yeah.
man where he cannot be gotten to.
Yeah. No, and that's the problem. In some respects. But I mean, at the same point in time, Ukraine's just flat out winning that war now.
It's
They are just winning.
they have
So,
yeah. All they have to do is not be you, and they're winning.
dude, they spent the entire weekend bombing Moscow because they finally got to the point in time. It was like, you know what? We're gonna stop asking people for cruise missiles. We're gonna make our own, and they did.
Again, if Canada was bombing DC right now, we would not.
We would roll on them.
That's what I'm saying is if your closest neighbor that you border
Yeah.
is actually bombing your capital,
You would roll on them. Yeah, I don't get it, man. So, but we'll see. Something's gonna break, man. Something's gonna break, and it's gonna happen. It's starting to feel like that is coming to a head. So just because it's like, all right, so I mean, it's gone longer than World War II now. Okay, in a year now, it'll roll up on like the amount of time that America was involved in Vietnam. So it's got a little ways to go to hit Afghanistan levels. But again, we never had more than a couple 100,000 guys there,
right?
and we never lost more than I think it was 3,000 total. The Russians have put millions into the
The number that they report is embarrassing.
The one that they actually like kind of cop to now is 1.2. That is, it's the one where they don't even say no anymore. They're just like, well, that is crazy, dude.
It's not. And again, as you and I know, we have demographics problems, and given that Russia already had a problem of fucking Danny DeVito looking motherfuckers rolling around with supermodels, take 1.2 million of your most eligible men.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, to be fair, a lot of them were in prison.
Still, they make for good breeding and stock.
Take the many criminals and give them guns on the top.
This is to say that, okay, this is to say that they were in prison for real prisoner shit.
Oh, yeah, no. They just posted something about their boss.
Exactly. That would be kind of like, well, these guys were in prison. It's like, yeah, if we imprisoned poets, here in the United States. I mean, but so you're talking about dudes who could actively do some breeding.
Yeah.
So, yes, if you want to talk about how you get, and it's not as though that's really working out great for the women either, because it's not.
No, it's terrible, man. Yeah.
Like, people think
it's terrible.
So again, I've said this before. It's a cruel thing to say, but it's true in terms of like, what was the single greatest advancement for workers and humankind? The bubonic plague,
Yeah.
right? That's when they built guilds. That's when it's like, okay, you had to lose
Those are
about.
called unions too. They're also called unions too.
And there was a time and place for it.
There was a time and place for it.
Absolutely a time and place for it. But I mean, that's the same thing. Is like when you see all these people dropping off, you should see like, well, women should be getting greater shares of power, equality. It's like,
Not
nah,
Russia. Nah.
not really.
No, it just means the surviving men get that much more powerful.
It's not supposed to. It's 2026, too.
Not in Russia. Not in Russia.
No, you're right, because they went from catapults
to
communism.
Yeah, to communism.
And here and back again, fucking Bilbo Baggins' book. They're over here at the
Phalanx is running around your army.
Yeah. the fucking like actual good people that came out of communism already set sail for the undying lands. There's nobody left over here that actually like carried that torch on through, except for that fucking villain that's over there at the top of this. And again, from watching those insufferable interviews, the thing that he does, and this is what people think is like, oh no, this is just like America. It's like, no, man,
not even close.
This dude will straight up. I was like, the motherfucker disappears people on a regular basis, right? And that also goes for dissidents. Fucking, it's happening right now in China, right? In terms of
much more quietly than it does in Russia too. Yeah,
but it's happening.
Well, yeah, I mean, in Russia, what did they convicted that guy, and then oh yeah, he died of a heart attack. Like, really? He was 45. Maybe that's normal in Russia. I don't know.
And pretty good shape. I mean, was the vaccine? I don't know. Yeah. It's so. But the way that he says that with a virtually like, no, we didn't have anything to do with it.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
There's this thing where like, yeah. So I'm sitting over here with the Xbox controller. I'm like pressing X to doubt or like Y for lie.
Accuse.
I'm like, this man's facial tics do not give away that he's lying, right? This is all he just says this stuff, and it's the George, because it's not a lie if you believe it. And there's this whole thing of like, yeah, it's not the same as you can vote this guy out or whatever, he's held accountable. No, this is a totally different situation.
Totally different, man. He's got an entire like army that surrounds him, And I mean, that should say everything that you need to know. So in some respects.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. So you can't like Naruto run through the
We got him.
We got him. You know that guy had 3 knives on him?
The
guy who tried to kill Donald Trump.
He had 3 knives?
He had a shotgun, a pistol, and 3 knives. In what fucking
in Russia? Oh.
No. In what like Counter-Strike mindset you're gonna get down to having not needing 1 knife but 2 extras. So this guy's obviously fucked. So
very much
yeah,
so.
No, I mean in the head. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, because there is a logic to it where it's like, so they get my first knife.
Right, yeah.
But they'll be looking for the second.
They'll be looking for the second one. It's like I'm right here, man. I'm gonna dual wheel. It's like you're surrounded by fucking Secret Service agents who have Uzis. Yeah. So anyway, there was another one. What was another one that happened recently where it was obvious that the guy was insane? Oh, we talked about that. The guy who fucking witnessed me into the fucking Frontier engine.
Was there any new news about this?
I'm tailgating that one, man. I was watching. I think I'm fairly convinced. Oh no, it was the shooting the other day. Wasn't there one in San Diego that had to do with a mosque or something like that?
Oh yeah, there sure was.
Instantaneously, it started dropping off, and so we need to watch that one because there was like a notebook or something.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Did you see the notebook?
Nope.
Okay.
This is.
Is it a trans? Ooh.
It looks like it could be.
Okay.
But that hasn't been confirmed. Now, ultimately, for me, if they haven't said,
because they were teenagers,
then yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
See, and that's almost the point now, is if you don't say, you kind of know now.
Correct. Well, again,
so because if it was a guy who was wearing a red MAGA hat, that would have come out in 5 minutes.
That would have been the whole headline.
That would have been the whole headline.
The headline would have been, uh,
so I haven't seen pictures of the guys. They're guys, right? I did see one
yes,
name, and it was a very Hispanic name. So
yes.
okay, all
So
right.
there's one. Okay, so there's one. For no better way to say it, of like, there's one Carlos looking ass dude, right?
Okay,
There's just kind of like, well, who's he? Who's Carlos?
he's the guy on the top of Tito's bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was not wearing his ceremonial poncho, but
Oh,
yes, that
come
is
on,
correct.
man.
Um, but yes, if you just saw him, it's like, oh, it's just Carlos, right? The other one is kind of, the best way I can say it is androgynous.
Okay. See, and when they didn't say anything after about a couple hours after that happened,
Yes.
automatically I was suspicious, man. And see that fuck the media because they've trained me to be stupid like this. So
Well,
but
it's the same. If you again, now a little bit depending on where you live, because I think here with our local networks, they have a little bit more decency to do this, right? But if there's a crime that happens in, say, oh, I don't know, San Jose, right? If there's just a crime that happens, they
Mhm.
say, so there was a gas station shooting. The police are looking for a subject, and they just say he was 6 feet, wearing jeans. You know what color he is. If they
Oh
say
yeah, white
a
guy. Yeah,
white male,
yeah, yeah.
6 feet tall, wearing a tap out,
Yeah, our
sweatshirt.
news doesn't do
No, no, they'll say like
that. Yeah,
Hispanic,
Hispanic.
black,
Yeah, black
woman,
tattoos.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever. But yeah, if they don't tell you, you know who it is. If they do tell you, you know it's a white guy.
Oh yeah. See, yeah, that's got to change, man. So
Well,
this is like re-racialization, man. Of like just the media is just it's paying bad dividends. It's bad medicine, man. So
well, also, and again, the issue here is that when it comes down to it, the body cams have told the real story.
almost always, yeah. Yeah, that turned out to be something that didn't work out for people. Those are oh well.
There's something that I point out every now and then when they start talking about having a gun problem. It's like, okay, so do you know what our gun violence rate is per 100,000? People say, I don't know, probably 25. I'm like, no, that's a retard number. What is the real number? They have no idea. I say, okay, so if I were to exclude two
Suicides.
groups, well, no,
Yeah.
no, no. If I just say, if I were to exclude the homicides of two groups, our two leading groups, right? Say, yeah, what about it? Say, well, if I take them out, our gun violence per 100,000 is less than Canada,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So I'm not trying to sit there and say, like, well, these groups are inherently, violent per se, just on a natural level. But if you're going to look at the problem, you look at the problem where the problem is.
Well, the problem is in major cities. So,
That is the biggest component of
oh
it.
yeah,
Well, and again, this is the
I've always done this argument where you can do it by race, but if you really want to do it right, you do it by fucking zip code.
and it
So
will still be those groups, but it'll
doesn't
be in
matter
those zip
though, but
codes.
it'll be more accurate.
And the worst thing you can do, this is the Gavin Newsom era, because for what he likes to do is he likes to say, like, yeah, but you ever seen those crime statistics in the red states? And like, asshole, what cities do they happen in?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
say, look at how bad Missouri is. I'm like,
That's in Kansas City.
where
Yeah.
in Missouri?
Which part of St. Louis are you talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same shit. Is you go say, like, okay, you're gonna put that on the state?
No, it's disingenuous, dirty pool.
Yeah,
So
all right.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
really easy to disprove too.
yeah.
So
All right, there you
zip
go.
code, dude. Zip
Zip
code.
code. Zip code.
All right, I'm Pat.
All right, I'm Jeffrey.
Hitting the button.